Hey YouTube, it's been a long time, no chat. I, quite frankly, never use this app anymore, other than to watch stuff, but I got some time to kill and I got some shit to say, and I am one of those that I would rather speak out and maybe give other people the courage to speak out. And I know I'm just basically a nobody on the internet, but I still feel like it is very important to say what is on my mind. And as a veteran and as somebody specifically who was embedded in basic military training in the Air Force, in the mental health component, basically, I worked at a unit that existed in the BMT environment because of what happened in 2012 in the Air Force. And if you don't know much about that, there are plenty of articles out there, but basically there was a lot of maltreatment, a lot of abuse happened, a lot of SA happened, a lot of people got arrested, and this wasn't exclusive to the Air Force. This happened across all military branches at different points. And part of my job working there was to study all of these things that happened. For instance, Marines that killed themselves because of the maltreatment or were pushed to such extremes that they died in the BMT environment. And we existed to basically help. So basically there was a command-directed investigation in 2012 that came out of all of these allegations and things that happened, and they implemented several things, including raising the ranks of, I believe that this is when they raised the ranks of who could be a military training instructor, who had to be a commander. I think they might have created a couple new roles, things like that, in the BMT environment, specifically in the Air Force. I think they did it across all the branches, but I worked in the Air Force, so obviously I speak a little bit more specifically to that. But we were created and embedded specifically for this reason, and to basically be a consult service for the military training instructors when they were feeling stressed, or they could come talk to us and let us know when things were getting too far out of line again and things like that. This is a very real problem in the BMT environment. And also hand in hand with that, something else that we talked about was sort of like this like behavioral drift that happens in human nature, basically when you're in a position of authority and put in such a big position of power that things can escalate to the point of what happened in 2012, or we even used, even though it might seem like an excessive comparison, we talked a lot about the Holocaust and how this is the way things are and this is how we do it. Like, just basically, like, that human psychology, and there's a lot of psychosocial experiments you can look up, but like the Milgram experiment, if you are being told by an authority figure to behave a certain way and you're like, well, they're in charge and I'm going to listen to that, this is how we end up with like the Nuremberg trials, or, you know, like, this is how horrible shit happens. And I just want to talk about that because right now what's happening in the US is absolutely despicable. I am absolutely appalled, and I am very left-leaning, but I'm also a military veteran. I take a lot of pride. Like, there are certain policies where you could probably argue that I am more right-leaning, or like I could handshake you in the middle and come to a very like happy, like logical compromise that we could all agree upon. You know, I take a lot of pride in this country. Less so now. I'm very disappointed with how things are right now, but I have to believe that things will get better again. I'm just absolutely appalled at what's happening right now, especially ICE wearing these uniforms that they did not fucking earn whatsoever, and the absolutely deplorable behavior that they are doing in these uniforms that absolutely desecrate everything that they stand for just disgusts me beyond all belief. And it's so obvious to me that they are doing this intentionally, putting ICE in military uniforms to confuse the general public who can't tell the difference between the National Guard and ICE, so that the left just kind of takes all their anger and frustration out on everybody in any kind of authority. Whereas from what I've seen, the National Guard has not crossed any lines. They have not done anything to break their oath. I know some people are upset that they are taking orders to like go to DC and to go to these places, but if you haven't been in the military, you don't understand. Like, these are direct orders. It's different when you are being told, okay, now you need to go shoot that civilian. They have not crossed that line yet. All they are doing is deploying to wherever they're being told to deploy, and then they're going there and standing around, talking to people, doing photo shoots. And then when the administration realized, oh, you guys aren't doing shit, go pick up trash, they're picking up trash. I feel for them. As a veteran, I feel for them because I know what it is like to be a young 18, 19, 20-year-old. Whatever age you are. You joined because you wanted to have pride, you wanted to do something bigger than yourself. Maybe you wanted, the education, maybe you wanted, whatever benefits come from being in the military, you wanted those things. But at the end of the day, it's a job, and it's something that you do with honor. You swore an oath to the Constitution, not to any fucking human being, not to the President of the United States. I don't give a fuck who is in charge. You did not swear an oath to them. You swore an oath to the Constitution, and therefore to the American people, to defend and protect them. That is your duty. And I am just absolutely disgusted by all of the behavior being done by this administration. And if you are on the opposite side of the aisle as me, I plead for you to use a fucking search engine and fact check what you were being told, because you were being fed fucking lies. I enjoy siding with facts. It is so easy. You have the internet at your fingertips 24/7. You can pull up a search engine. And I know y'all know how to use it. As a millennial, I could say we learned how to use Google, I think, in maybe the second grade, maybe first grade. I don't remember. It was early, like fucking early. As soon as we knew how to spell our words and started hopping on computers here and there for like little things, we learned how to use Google. So you can't tell me as a grown-ass adult that you don't know how to use fucking Google. Go use it. Go find a credible source. Politico, any sort of like fact checking. Go there, fact check the shit you're being told, because it is so easy to look this shit up. I don't understand how so many people are falling victim to propaganda in 2025 when we literally have the world's knowledge at our fingertips 24/7. It is absolutely deplorable. Please be better than this. Look up the shit you were being told. Do not watch Fox fucking Entertainment. They are not news. Look up the lawsuits they've had against them. They do not qualify as fucking news. Nothing they are telling you is true. They will show you old clips from a decade ago and try to say it's something happening right now, and will lie to you about why it's fucking happening. I've seen this time and time again. They don't stretch the truth. They don't manipulate the truth. They don't paint it in a right-leaning way. They straight up fucking lie to you. You should be so fucking pissed if you have fallen for the shit that this administration and that the Republicans are telling you, because they are lying. These are not Republicans anymore. These MAGA Republicans are fascists. This is not the Republican Party, and the true Republicans I know who do not side with MAGA are disgusted and are voting Democrat only because of how disgusted they are by what is happening to the GOP. These are not honorable people. There's no sense of decorum. They're fucking liars. They're pedophiles. They're fascists. And you should not want to align yourselves with them. Period. I have so much pride in what I did serving this country. I take so much pride in it. And I'm also now a gun owner. I haven't always owned a gun at home. Obviously, I worked one in my job and things like that, but with things going on recently, we said, I think we'd like to get a gun. Wasn't always my first choice for me personally. I think everybody should have the right to one. Trust me, I grew up in the country. We had dozens of guns. I grew up around them. I think I got my first 22 when I was like 12. Like, I had a BB gun when I was like a kid, like tiny. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up around them. I don't have an issue with guns. I don't want them to take away guns. I don't. I do think there's no reason for everyday civilians to be able to have assault weapons. I think that's crazy. I think those should be exclusively for certain jobs. Or, you could convince me that maybe if you really want to own them for some fucking reason, that there should be like a much, 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 much higher level of qualifications that you have to go through in order to be able to own a weapon like that. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I'm not in charge of that type of thing. I couldn't even tell you 2 things about it, but I think that should be like excessive, like months, if not years of work that you have to do to be able to get to that point. As opposed to these like 18-year-olds that can just walk into a fucking store and buy an assault weapon and then slaughter a bunch of people. There's no reason for that to be happening. But I do feel like, hunting rifles, pistols, things like that. Yeah, I think everybody should be able to have access to those within reason. Obviously felons, if you have ongoing mental health issues, again, when I worked in the military, I worked in mental health, and if somebody had expressed any kind of safety concern, I'm having thoughts of suicide, I'm having thoughts of harming somebody else, I'm scared I'm going to hurt myself, things like that, our psychologists could make that decision to say, okay, we're going to disarm them, we're going to take away their weapons, specifically in their career field, like, we can't have them working that, so we're going to go switch, we're going to have them go work the post office, or we're going to have them go, whatever, work something else temporarily, not as punishment, but because we need to take care of people. You need to focus on your mental health. If you are actively having thoughts like that, you should not have a weapon in your hand. And these same people, they would then have, security forces go into their home and lock up their weapon in the armory on base, and until they're in a place where they are better and can get that back. I think absolutely civilians that should be the same thing. Like, obviously, if you are having ongoing mental health issues, you're worried about your safety, or your psychologist, or, whoever it is you're seeing, which, by the way, all of this should be free. If they have specific concerns, they should have that option to say, hey, it's not punishment, it's still your weapon. We're just going to put it in an armory. You're just not going to have access to it until you're feeling a little bit better, because I'm worried about your safety, or I'm worried about other safety, and we're doing this to take care of you because we care about you. And we'll keep following up. We'll check in on you. And when we really feel like you're doing a lot better, this is to help you. Like, we're on your team. It should be a collaborative thing. We're going to help you out, and, we care about you. We don't want you to do anything that you're going to regret. So, we're going to take this away for now, and when we feel like you're in a better place, obviously you can have it back, it's yours. But this should be the case everywhere. We should have certain standards. Like, not just every Joe Schmo should be able to walk into a place and walk out with a gun the same day. And I'm saying this as somebody who lives in Ohio, and I walked in, and 10 minutes later I got approved and I got my gun and walked out. Like, it was faster for me because I was a veteran, and my background check went like that, and I think that's fine. But I do think we need some higher standards on who is able to own a gun, how long, especially for these younger kids, how long it takes for them to be able to get it and walk out with it. And obviously mental health services should be absolutely free to everybody, because I know across the aisle we can all agree that mental health is a huge fucking issue in America. We would not be where we are today if it wasn't. We need to give people the care that they deserve, and not everybody... Most everyday people cannot afford to go pay for mental health. I think it's normally $200 a session at some places. Like, that's crazy. If you don't have good insurance that covers that shit, you're not going to go pay $200 for one session, much less the entire treatment. You know what I mean? So I'm ranting, and this is too long, and I know not everybody even knows who I am or cares about me, or, I had 900 subscribers, which is really nothing on this channel, and it wasn't even related to anything to do with this. It was all different reasons, but it would be remiss of me to not get on here and at least state how I'm feeling, especially as a veteran, and especially with everything that Trump and Hegseth did with calling the generals out. First of all, such a huge fucking safety risk to get every single general in our entire military into one location and then to publicize it. All it took was for one country who's mad at us to decide to nuke us. You know what? Or to get somebody to go in there with a, bomb strapped to their chest, God forbid, or, something crazy. That is the biggest... We are lucky that nothing happened. We are so fucking lucky. And all of that for... I couldn't even watch... I watched a few clips and I couldn't even stomach it. All of that for this, fucking dog and pony show to, like, send out this, like, whatever message they were trying to fucking send. It was a joke. It could have been an email. It would have been a useless email that should have been immediately deleted because it was fucking bullshit, but it should have been an email. There's no reason to make such a huge fucking safety risk for whatever fake fucking pep talk you were trying to do, where basically you said, more or less, submit to us or resign. Or if you try to speak out against us, we're gonna fire you. Like, that's really what the fuck happened. Really? Again, on both sides of the aisle, this should be a fucking red flag. And I don't understand why more MAGA Republicans aren't talking about it. Actually, I do, because it's not even being fucking covered. Like, you guys don't actually watch what people say. You see the 2 clips that are on Fox News, and they paint it in some, oh, Trump and Hegseth had this amazing meeting with General. Like, it's always painted in some type of way. You guys don't watch it for your fucking selves. You don't fact check shit. And I am just so beyond disappointed and disgusted in you people who, I'm not mad at you, per se. I resent your choices. I'm mad at the fact that you refuse to look these things up for yourself and fact check as a human being who should know how to work a fucking search engine. Like, it's not hard. You have the internet at your fingertips 24 fucking 7. That's the part that drives me crazy. In 2025, there's no reason to be this fucking stupid when we have the world's knowledge at our fingertips 24 fucking 7. Like, you shouldn't be this stupid. I'm not saying I'm a fucking genius. And in fact, the more I learn, the more I realize how stupid I am, because there's so much more out there that I don't even fucking know. The more I learn, the more I realize, like, how small and insignificant and stupid I am, and how, like, I will never be able to understand all the things I wish I could understand in this life. My life is literally not long enough, and my brain is not, I'm too ADHD to ever have the full knowledge that I wish I could have. I wish I could learn every language. I wish I could learn all these instruments. I wish I understood, more about the universe and quantum physics, and, like, there's so much I wish I understood, but I will say the more I learn, the more I realize how stupid I am. But there are so many people out there who think they know it fucking all and actually know the fucking least. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Like, it is on full display. I am appalled at really the entire world, but America specifically. I knew we weren't the smartest country, but I didn't think we were this fucking dumb. I really didn't. And y'all show your asses every fucking day when you're out here saying, oh, like, acting like you know. It's okay to say I don't fucking know if you don't understand how certain things work. And in fact, that's the strongest thing you can fucking say is, I don't know, but let me go look it up. Stop doing this confirmation bias shit where you have this preconceived notion about something and then you go find information that supports it. Curiosity is the best thing a human being can have. Oh, I wonder more about this. Oh, I don't actually know anything about trans people, so let me go, like, look that up. Like, why are they trans? I went down this journey. This is why I am left-leaning, because I am curious. There are so many things that I'm like, I don't understand. This is why I loved working in psychology. I'm like, there's so much about the human mind that I don't understand, but I want to. I'm doing my best to understand. When I'm bored in my downtime, instead of sitting there with my thumb up my ass watching fucking Family Guy or whatever. I mean, yeah, you can do those things too, I guess, whatever. But I try to look up things to learn about people, to learn about psychology. I watch a lot of true crime. I watch, I've gone down the entire rabbit hole of basically anything that is anything. A bunch of trans people and their experiences and how they learned they were trans and, like, what that journey looked like to become trans. And instead of having whatever my initial bias was against that thing, thinking, oh, that's weird, I don't understand that, therefore let me hate it, ridiculous, I said, oh, that's weird, I don't understand that. Let me hear more about it, because I'm like, I don't understand it, and I realize I don't understand it, and I want to learn more. I want to hear their perspective, even if I don't agree with it, whatever the topic is, even if I don't agree with the other side's perspective, I want to hear it. I'm curious about how they've gotten to this point where that's their viewpoint on this thing, or that's, what they want to do with their lives, or that's whatever. I go down these rabbit holes, and I find that a lot of the time I go, oh, I never thought about it like that. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, you mean, okay, going back to trans people. Oh, you mean that they literally feel like they're living in the wrong body. I don't know what that feels like. I can't relate to that, but I can try to imagine it. And if I felt like I was a boy and everything inside me was screaming I was a boy my entire life, and then I had to go through female puberty and live my life with people calling me she, when I know that that's not how I feel for years and years and years, and you're facing that, yeah, I could see how that's debilitating, because that's literally your existence in the world. Like, that's every day, every second of every day you're facing that. You can't even look in the mirror. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's hard. And there's so many fucking examples out there, but it's just like, you just have to fucking step outside of yourself. Stop being so fucking selfish. Be curious and stop being selfish. And it's okay to say, I don't fucking know. That's fine. Admit you don't know something and go learn about it. And stop with all this divisiveness. I'm so fucking tired. Get off the internet. Go talk to people face to face. Get to know them. Talk to them about why you feel the way you feel about certain things. Back it up with fucking facts. I'm so tired of this divisiveness. The internet, while useful and fun and creative, is also one of the worst fucking things that happen to humanity, because it is more divisive than anything. Get off the fucking internet. The more I do this, the more I realize, wow, the internet really is a fucking toxic place. It's the reason why there are so many extremists. It really is. People get down these fucking rabbit holes, these conspiracies, these, whatever, and become extremists because of shit that they see on the internet. It's dangerous. Get off the fucking internet, go touch grass, and talk to human beings. All of us. We need it more and more. Anyway, I gotta go fucking work. That was all I had to say. Fuck Trump. Can't wait for him to be impeached, and for everybody who has done crimes against humanity to be held accountable. There is a genocide happening in Palestine. Yeah, I'm absolutely appalled. Everything that's happening in the US. The other shoe will drop, and when it does, the Nuremberg trials 2.0 are going to be crazy here in the US. And yeah, just stand up against it. It's fucking crazy what's happening out here. I feel like I had something else I was going to say, but I lost it. I'm tired. I'm running like 4 hours of sleep, and my ADHD is ADHDing today, so I'm going to go work. But love you guys. I don't think I'm back on YouTube. I just wanted to get this the fuck off my chest while I had a few minutes to kill and say fuck Trump. And he's on the list. He didn't win, and he wasn't shot. So, bye.